Both men undefeated, both men two-time world champions. And this pay-per-view event will also feature 4 fights in total. And today you're going to hear from the fighters from the first 2 fights of the night on that pay-per-view event. Of course, all of this going down in the fight capital of the world. That's Las Vegas, Nevada. It will be Saturday, November 25th, Showtime pay-per-view. We'll have another early start time. That's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific, from the Michelob ULTRA Arena at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. And, of course, everything is presented by Premier Boxing Champions. Tickets for this pay-per-view extravaganza are available. You can get yours at AXS.com. The event is being promoted by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing. Now, you're going to hear from all 4 fighters of those first 2 fights of the night. I'm going to talk to them. We'll allow you members of the media to ask them questions as well. We just ask that you hit the raise your hand icon there on the Zoom. And once you're called upon, you can ask your questions. Let's start, though, with the first fight of the night that you'll see on the pay-per-view broadcast. It's a world title fight. And the WBA super featherweight champion, Hector Luis Garcia, putting his title on the line against the Reaper, young man out of D.C., Lamont Roach. This is going to be one heck of a fight. Garcia, 16-1. He's got 10 knockouts, taking on Roach, 23-1-1. He's got 9 knockouts. He's riding a 4-fight winning streak. So let me bring in these guys, and we'll start with the champion. We'll start with Hector Luis Garcia. Martine Bader will do the translation. Hector, if you could, we haven't seen you since you last fought Gervonta Davis. Please give us an update on how training has been going for Roach, and tell us what should we expect when you get in the ring with Lamont Roach.
Héctor, no te vemos hace rato, desde lo que peleaste contra Gervonta Davis. Contanos cómo ha sido tu preparación y qué podemos llegar a esperar de Héctor Luis García contra Lamont Roach dentro del ring.
Bueno, primero darle gracias a Showtime PPV por la oportunidad. Me siento en óptimas condiciones realmente porque tuve una pelea a principios de año y ya han pasado varios meses, la cual me siento en óptimas condiciones para el 25 de noviembre.
First of all, allow me to thank Showtime and PBC for giving me this opportunity. And I feel great. I feel in tip-top shape. Like you said, I had that fight at the beginning of the year. And now I feel like I am ready to roll on November 25th.
What should we expect, Hector, when you get in the ring with Lamont Roach?
¿Qué deberíamos esperar de Héctor García dentro del ring contra Lamont Roach?
Bueno, esperen lo mejor de mí, como siempre. Ya no nos podemos encerrar por lo que ya pasó, por una derrota. Continuamos con el pie derecho, positivo, y esperen lo mejor de mí, como siempre lo he estado haciendo.
You can expect the best of me, as always, like I've always done. And I'm going to focus on not letting that loss get the best of me. I'm going to focus on being positive. I'm gonna have positive thoughts out there and go after the win.
All right. Lamont, now let's go to the challenge. Lamont Roach, 23-1-1. He's got 9 knockouts, 4-fight winning streak, represents DC. Lamont, same question. Give us a word on how camp has been going and what should we expect when you fight for the title once again and take on Hector Luis Garcia.
Camp isn't going great. I don't know. Words can't explain how hard I've been working and how I've been striving to achieve my goals. So, and then that night, November 25th, y'all gonna see fireworks, man. Y'all gonna see the best of me for sure. And y'all gonna see the demise of Hector Luis Garcia.
Yeah, okay. Hector, let's start with, as you talked about the Tank fight. Give us biggest lesson you learned from that fight and something that you say, you know what, it will not happen again when I get in the ring on November 25th?
Contanos cuál fue la lección más importante que aprendiste de aquella derrota contra Gervonta Davis y algo que vos digas, ¿sabes qué? Esto no voy a permitir que esto suceda nunca más.
Ok, mira, fue una lesión, una gran lesión para mí, un gran aprendizaje, pelear versus Gervonta, y aprendí mucho realmente, y no va a aparecer otro como Gervonta que me va a ganar. No van a ser otro.
Pero hay algo que hayas aprendido de esa pelea y que decís que no te va a pasar más, algo que hayas hecho que decís no voy a volver a cometer ese error.
No, eso no va a volver a pasar.
O sea, pero algo en específico, o sea, algo que, o sea, ¿qué aprendiste? Algo específico de esa pelea.
Bueno, aprendí de que como, o sea, de pelear en los grandes escenarios como PPV, como evento principal y ante un público, una fanaticada tan grande, y realmente me llevé una buena experiencia y eso de eso aprendí mucho, y no van a ser otro como Gervonta que me gane.
I certainly learned a lot, and I can tell you that there's only one Gervonta Davis. So what's not going to happen again? I'm not going to lose like that again. I always take the positive out of the experiences I had, and I can tell you, having fought on a pay-per-view main event in front of what was a great crowd, that allowed me to grow, and I learned a lot from all of it, from the entire experience. So I would say that's the biggest lesson out of all of it.
Lamont, you know, I said it earlier, this will be the second time in your career you fought for the world title. You did it about 4 years ago when you took on Jamel Herring. Tell us why the second time will be different.
The second time will be different just because I learned a lot in that fight. I took a lot from that fight, and I kept the ball rolling, as you can see, riding my win streak that I don't plan on stopping for a long time. What I have in front of me right now is a champion, and his just due. You know, credit is due to where he is as a champion, but he in my way, and I just don't think like he on my level.
Hector, got to get your response to that. Listen, Lamont's already said on November 25th, we're going to see the demise of Hector Luis Garcia, and he just said you are not on his level. Your response.
Acá Lamont acaba de decir que va a acabar contigo y que no estás a su nivel. ¿Qué opinas? ¿Qué le respondes?
Bueno, lo felicito por su decisión, por su buena vibra, por pensar como está pensando. Yo soy la persona y yo hablo en el ring, no debajo.
Congratulations on your mindset, Lamont. I'm glad you have such good vibes and a positive mindset. Good for you. But you know what? I talk inside the ring, not outside of it. So you'll see.
Lamont, I was reading, and you gave a quote to the boxing scene, and it says, quote, I want to make him quit. Even if I don't sleep him, I want him to be like, all right, I don't want to do this anymore. End quote. You still stick by that? You believe that you can stop him?
Man, I'm from the trenches, man. I'm sticking to my guns for sure. Like that's what I'm here for. Mind you, I was there for that Tank fight. Like I was there, front row. Like I was there. I seen Tank take the fight out of him. I think I can do the same thing. Like I know I can for sure. So I hope he ain't gun shy because it might be quick.
Champ, you got to get your response to that. Listen, he said, quote, I want to make him quit. Even if I don't sleep him, I want him to be like, all right, I don't want to do this anymore. Said he was there at the Tank fight, saw how Tank took the fight out of you, and he wants to do the same thing. Your response.
Lamont acaba de decir que él quiere arrebatarte el alma, que quiere quitarte la fuerza de voluntad, porque él te vio contra Gervonta Davis y cree que eso fue lo que sucedió, que Gervonta Davis te quitó el deseo de pelear. ¿Qué opinas al respecto de lo que él hizo? Porque además él dice que quiere acabar con vos rápido, o sea que espera que no seas tímido, porque esto puede pasar rápido.
No, fíjate, realmente en el boxeo cualquier cosa puede pasar, ¿me entiendes? Yo estoy positivo y tengo mi responsabilidad es defender el título con éxito y salir por la puerta grande. Como te dije anterior, yo soy de los boxeadores que no hablo mucho antes de pelea, ¿me entiendes? Pero Lamont Roach como americano y como de costumbre, ellos tienen esa cosa y soy un boxeador que tengo experiencia y me sé manejar.
Let him talk. Lamont Roach, like most American fighters, what they do is they like to talk. That's his thing. Good for him. But my responsibility is to defend that title and exit the ring, walking out like a champion. So that's what I'm gonna focus on. I'm not a big talker. I prefer to talk inside the ring, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Okay, Lamont. At the end of the night on November 25th, it's going to be a pay-per-view. You're going to have a huge audience. What is the boxing public going to be saying about Lamont Roach at the end of the night?
That he's the best boxer at 130 pounds, and I'll continue to prove that right after November 25th as well.
Champ, same question to you. At the end of the night on November 25th, what is the boxing public going to be saying about Hector Luis Garcia?
¿Qué estará diciendo la afición del boxeo, todos los del boxeo, sobre Héctor Luis García al final de la noche, el 25 de noviembre?
Bueno, sí, estaré demostrando, sí, le seguiré mostrando el por qué soy campeón mundial, campeón del mundo en 30 libras. Les demostraré que lo que pasó fue algo que quedó de pasar y no va a volver a pasar el 25 de noviembre. Me voy a salir con la puerta grande, con la mano en alto, con la frente en alto.
They're gonna say that there goes the defending champion, the guy that went out there and successfully defended his throne at 130 pounds. And more than anything, I'm gonna prove that what happened against Gervonta Davis was a fluke and that it's never gonna happen again.
No hay excusa.
No excuses.
Like it. I like it.
I like that too. No excuse.
Any response, Lamont, before we get to the media questions?
No, I like that. No excuse. That's what I like to hear. I'm not trying to hear anything. He won't hear anything from me either. There's no excuse on this. And that's the name of my gym. No excuse. So I like that.
It's appropriate. All right. I know there's members of the media that've got questions for you guys. So we're going to bring in Andrew Roberts from Swanson Communications to allow members of the media to ask their questions. Andrew, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks very much, Brian. We'll start off with Dario Nicolas Bessi from La Casaca Boxing. Dario, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Thank you very much. I have a question for Droide for Hector Luis Garcia. I'm gonna do it in English for the sake of convenience. You have fought against a whole lot of styles. For example, Roger Gutierrez, an old style of fajador, punches and bunches and the like. And then Chris Colbert, a long-range fencer. But Lamont got a lot of them styles together. He's also bigger than most super featherweights as well. Is he the best fighter you have fought in this division up until now?
¿Quieres traducir la pregunta o la traduzco yo?
Traducir la voz, Martín, muchas gracias.
Lamont Roach es acaso el rival más duro de tu carrera hasta ahora, considerando los antecedentes que has tenido en esta división.
¿Perdón? ¿Los rivales más?
¿Acaso es el rival más duro que has enfrentado en esta división, considerando los antecedentes que has tenido en tu carrera?
No. Mira, realmente él se ha ganado la oportunidad de pelear conmigo, pero no es el rival más fuerte que he tenido, ¿me entiendes? Chris Colbert es mucho más bueno que él, Gervonta Davis es mucho más bueno que él. Peleé con Roger Gutierrez, campeón mundial, campeón del mundo.
I know he ain't say Roger was better than me.
Yeah. O sea,
I know he ain't say that.
Es un buen peleador, pero porque se ha ganado la oportunidad, pero no es mejor que ya algunos peleadores que había, como te he mencionado anteriormente.
Okay, so He's not the toughest opponent I've had. Not by a long shot. Roger Gutierrez. He's better than him. Chris Colbert, he was way better than Lamont Roach, who has earned his opportunity. I don't take that away from him. He's earned the opportunity to be here where he is and have a shot at the title. But Gutierrez, Colbert, and we don't even need to say that Gervonta Davis was also better than him. So I don't consider him my toughest opponent at all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dario. Our next question is going to come from James Bell with the Boxing Source. James, please unmute yourself. You can ask your question.
All right, thanks. My question here is for Lamont Roach. Given that this is your second world title fight, with your first one being like 4 years back, how is your preparation for this fight been since you kind of like worked your way up to being the mandatory challenger for this world title, and seeing that, these world title opportunities come, rarely for some fighters. So how have you like prepared for this upcoming bout against Hector Garcia?
I've just been getting better, man. Ever since, I always try to get better. I fought for my first world title when I was 24 years old. I just turned 24. So that's fairly young, especially nowadays in boxing. After that, I capitalized on that and just added to my game to get better mentally, physically, psychologically. Every aspect of my game has raised the bar extremely high. So right now I just been just pushing my body to the max, pushing my body to the limit. So there won't be any excuses because my skill level is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, crazy. So for him to say, to go back for him to say that Roger is a better fighter than me is very disrespectful to my skill set. And he gonna see. I hope that he don't train like he think Roger's better than me. I promise you.
Yeah, because being from the DC area, I know that you've been training and being ready for this fight for some time now. So I know you're looking forward for this world title bout. Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you, James. Our next question is going to come from Christina Ramirez with Xtina Sports. Christina, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hello, thank you. I have a question for Lamont Roach. So I know you took about a year off since your fight from Herring in 2019. I'm a little curious to know what you learned from that fight and what you learned about yourself during that layoff.
I necessarily didn't take off. It's just after that was 2019. I think 2020 was COVID. So that was a difficult year for boxing. But what I learned from that fight is that nobody's going to give you anything. Even if the decks are stacked against you, or even if it might be in your favor, nobody's going to give you anything, especially in this game. So, you got to go out there and take it. You got to go out there and be vicious. You got to go out there and take advantage of every opportunity you see, you have, or whatever the case may be, because there's no tomorrow. Once you're in there, it's no tomorrow. It's what's going on in there until you get out.
Right. Thank you. Y también tenía una pregunta para Hector. ¿Cómo se sintió en la división de peso ligero? ¿Está planeando a subirse y bajarse de las divisiones o quedarse en los 130?
Sí, oye, para mí los dos pesos son iguales. 130 y 135 para mí son iguales. Me siento bien. Voy a defender mi título y voy a ganar con éxito. Voy a salir con éxito el 25 de noviembre y luego, si me dan la oportunidad para unificar mi título, lo unifico y seguiré peleando también de igual forma en la 135.
Christina's question was, thank you, Christina. The question was, do you feel better at 130 than you do at 135, or do you plan to just go back and forth? What's the idea? And Hector said that, I feel equally fine at either 130 or 135. Now the plan is to defend the title now on November 25th, hopefully unify afterwards, and then if the opportunity comes to fight at 135, I'll gladly do so as well. But the goal right now, defending the title, November 25th.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Christina. And with that, that's the end of our media questions for this pairing. I'll turn it back over to Brian Custer to wrap it up with Hector and Lamont.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much, Drew. Guys, we'll wrap it up with this. Champ, I'll start with you. Give us, members of the media, the main reason why they need to tune in on November 25th to watch you defend your title against Lamont Roach.
Bueno, contanos, Héctor, ¿por qué la gente debería sintonizar esta pelea para verte defender tu título contra Lamont Roach?
Bueno, sí, espero que confíen en mí, que ya lo que pasó, pasó y estamos de regreso. Daré lo mejor de mí el 25 de noviembre para salir con la frente en alto, con éxito en mi primera defensa del título mundial. Toda mi gente de República Dominicana que me apoyan y a SHOWTIME PPV que me ha dado la oportunidad, les seguiré demostrando el por qué soy campeón del mundo y por qué estoy aquí aún.
I want the fans, I want Showtime, I want PVC to know that, I was given the opportunity to do this, to defend the title for the first time, and I'm going to be up for it. I want the fans to believe in me and to know that the past is in the past. And now I'm ready to redeem myself and go after it all.
Lamont Roach, same question to you. Give the fans a reason and the main reason to watch November 25th when you fight for the title on Showtime pay-per-view.
Man, Showtime pay-per-view is going to showcase the next star. That's going to be the main case. So make sure y'all tune in. I think Hector is the perfect dancing partner for me to get my shine on.
And it comes your way, folks, November 25th. It will be the first fight of the night. The WBA Super Featherweight Champion, Hector Luis Garcia, defending his title for the first time and taking on the Reaper out of D.C., Lamont Roach. You don't want to miss it. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Now let's move on to the next fight you'll see on the pay-per-view broadcast. And once again, it's an all-action fight that you don't want to miss. You're going to see another championship fight. Subriel Matias. He is 19-1. Every last one of his victories have come by knockout. He's the IBF super lightweight champion, and he's making his challenge against his mandatory challenger. He's the unbeaten mandatory challenger, Shohjahon Ergashev. Ergashev, 23-0. 20 of his victories have come by knockout. I'm telling you, this will be a genuine slugfest in the making between one of boxing's most entertaining champions and a long-avoided contender who's finally getting his opportunity to fight for the world title. So let's start with the champion, Subriel Matias, 19-1. This guy is power-packed. Every last one of his victories have come by knockout. Subriel, if you would, give members of the media, give them some information on how training camp has been going for this fight and what should we expect when you fight your mandatory challenger who's unbeaten and also has knockout power.
Subriel Matías, te conocen como el rey del knockout, ¿verdad? ¿Qué tal ha sido tu preparación para esta pelea? ¿Qué pueden esperar aquellos que van a sintonizar el 25 de noviembre de Subriel Matías?
Pues mira, primero la preparación, gracias a Dios, ¿verdad? Ha sido bien, la salud está. Ya estamos, ¿verdad? En la última etapa, los últimos guanteos. Entonces, creo que la pelea no llega a 2 asaltos, ¿sabes? Según el récord de él y el mío, ¿sabes? Apunta un solo lado, entonces creo que va a ganar el mejor preparado que esté.
The preparation has been good. The health is definitely there. We are heading into the home stretch here, the last few rounds before the fight, if you will. And I can tell you this: you can expect the fight to not reach the 12 rounds. We won't reach the final bell, because if you look at both of us, the way we fight and the way our fights have gone, then you can expect a knockout at some point.
Now, let's meet his unbeaten challenger, Shohjahon Ergashev. unbeaten, 23-0. 20 of his victories have come by knockout. Shohjahon, if you could give members of the media just some information on how training camp has been going and let us know what we should expect when you fight for the title for the first time against a champion who has knocked out every person when it comes to his victories. And Dmitry Salita will do the translation for us.
Шох, как ты чувствуешь, как прошел лагерь, и как ты чувствуешь себя таким боксером, чемпионом, который очень бьющий, все его бои закончились нокаутом, как сюда пришел, и что могут фанаты ждать в твоем бою?
Hi, bro. У меня все отлично. Знаешь, я уже полгода здесь, у меня лагерь, у меня хорошая команда, Sugar Hill, Черт, Биби, у меня хорошая команда. Знаешь, я как готов, я даже завтра, я уже спешу туда быстрее прилететь в Лас-Вегас, я хочу с ним драться. Я очень жду, я готов. Я очень заряженный уже, знаешь, полгода уже я здесь. Мы готовимся. Да, у меня первый бой чемпионский. Что можно еще сказать? Ну, я жду это 25 числа с терпением.
He said it's been a long journey to get here, and he's been training for this fight since beginning to midsummer. He's grateful to his camp, Sugar Stewart, Theo Chambers, BB, his strength and conditioning coach, and even though this is his first title fight, he's been ready physically and mentally for a while, and he just can't wait to get to Las Vegas and let the fireworks flow. People are going to see the world-class talent that he is, that I am.
Love it. Thank you. Champ, Subriel, we'll start with you. Listen, I was looking through your record. I just found out that your only defeat came in Las Vegas. Now you're back. You're back as a world champion. You're on a major pay-per-view card. Tell us your motivation for this fight.
Campeón, estaba viendo tu legajo y noté que tu única derrota fue en Las Vegas, pero ahora regresás a Las Vegas como campeón en una cartelera de pay-per-view. ¿Cuáles son tus expectativas para esta nueva ocasión?
No, ninguna. En el 2020, en aquel momento cuando yo fui para Las Vegas, yo me monté al avión arrebatado y entonces estaba fumando demasiada marihuana, bebiendo, y creo que aún así vieron el espectáculo que brindé. En esta ocasión creo que vamos un 300% y creo que lo vamos a demostrar el 25 de noviembre.
The Subriel Matias that you saw in 2020 is nothing like the one that you're gonna see right now. Right now, I'm at 300% compared to the one that was in Vegas in 2020, where I admit that that I was smoking a lot of pot. I had vices that didn't allow me to be 100%. But now, 300%, I'm ready to show the fans that the champ is here. I'm ready to put in a great show.
Shohjahon, you have dominated, let's be honest, basically every opponent that you faced since you turned pro back in 2015. But how do you beat a champion who has stopped every person that basically he's fought when he's won?
Ты доминировал всех своих соперников, что ты очень сильный, но как ты будешь драться с боксером, который такой бьющий, который тоже очень сильный?
Ну,
знаешь, у нас, я не хочу сейчас все полностью открывать, пусть для Сабреля будет это как подарок для нашего команды, да, вот. Мы готовимся очень сильно, чтобы пусть для нас ему будет подарок. Это я не хочу все по-маленькому сказать. Знаешь, я был давно готов, но у меня до чемпионского боя я только мой промоутер Дмитрий Салита сделал этот бой. Subriel Matias,
очень сильный боксер. Как боксер, его профессиональный карьера мы очень сильно уважаем, потому что такой боксер, он чемпион мира, мы его очень сильно уважаем. Но есть но. Мы тоже очень сильно готовимся, мы тоже не из библиотеки вышел, ну, чтобы подраться с ним. Ну, я думаю, для Сабрела будет хороший бой со мной. Я просто так ему просто так не отдам поиск. Но поиск у него, мы забираем это обязательно. Мы очень сильно стараемся, и мы будем до конца. И пусть остальные ему будет подарок. Когда я прилечу, я сделаю ему подарок это.
So he said that he has a lot of respect for Subriel Matias, that he's a very good fighter, and he's a big puncher, and he's truly a very good world champion. And he doesn't want to delve into the details of what his game plan is going to be. But he said, understand that I'm not coming here from the library. I'm coming here with a big surprise, a Thanksgiving gift for Subriel Matias. And even though there's a lot of respect for Matias and his skills and his accomplishments as a champion inside the ring, this is going to be the title is going back home to Shohjahon Ergashev. And he said thank you to me for being with him throughout his beginning of his career and get him to this title opportunity. He also said that this title date has been moved a couple of times. So he's been in camp. When it's been moved, he took a couple of breaks. So he's in absolutely amazing condition to take care of business on November 25th. One thing to mention that I want: he has 2.7 million followers on Instagram. Most of those fans are from Uzbekistan, his home country. He's a true superstar, and when he fights live, millions of people watch him, and the mayors and people talk about him on television. So he is has many Pacquiao-like possibilities, coming from a small town in Uzbekistan and now fighting in the big stage in Las Vegas for world title on Showtime.
Got it. Subriel, Shohjahon just basically said he's bringing you a Thanksgiving surprise on November 25th and taking the title right back to him, to his home country. But when you look at his record, none of his opponents have the credentials that you are, and certainly have not been on the level that you are. Will that be his downfall on the 25th of November?
¿Sentís que Ergashev, por más confiado que esté, él nunca ha peleado contra alguien como vos? ¿Sentís que su quizás peca de confiado y que tu nivel va a ser su lección, que quizás va a ser lo que le cueste la derrota?
Pues mira, la confianza de él es lo que yo voy a usar a mi favor. Yo soy una persona guerrera dentro y fuera del ring. Yo me he visto expuesto, ¿verdad? He expuesto mi vida en varias ocasiones. Entonces, esto no sería, ¿verdad? Para mí, ¿cómo te explico? Va a ser como un juego. Entonces, vamos a ver qué va a pasar después del sexto asalto.
Well, I tend to agree with you there where you know, my experience, my level is going to be his downfall. How can I put this? This is going to be like a game to me. And let's see what happens after the 6th round. I'm going to leave it there.
All right.
Can I translate to short what he said?
Sure.
Он сказал, что он для тебя большой сюрприз, подожди до 6-го раунда, я ему сделаю большой сюрприз.
Не понял.
Он сказал, что после 6-го раунда он тебе сделал большой сюрприз, и он в другом классе, как ты, как боксер, что он намного лучше тебя.
Ну пусть он до 6-го раунда боксирует изначально.
He said, let him make it to the 6th round before he says what's going to happen after.
Subriel, we'll end my questions just like this. Every fight you've won, you've knocked your opponent out. Will you knock out Shohjahon on November 25th?
Acá Ergashev decía que a ver si llegas al 6th round. Y la pregunta de Brian es, ¿acaso puedes garantizar un knockout en esta pelea? ¿Que lo vas a noquear a Ergashev?
Yo lo que te puedo decir es que uno de los dos se va a caer. Eso te lo prometo.
¿Y de tu parte?
Vuelvo y te repito, uno de los dos va a caer.
I'm gonna tell you this: one of us is gonna fall. I'm gonna promise you that one of us is gonna kiss the mat.
Subriel, are you the best fighter at 140 pounds?
Subriel, ¿sos el mejor de la división de las 140 libras?
Pues mira, quizás no puedo considerarlo, ¿verdad? Pero me gustaría más demostrarlo. Con quien tenga que pelear para demostrarlo. Y si esto es un escalón, pues le vamos a pasar por encima.
I can consider myself the best at 140, but I would rather show it. And if this is one more step on the ladder to greatness, then I will gladly want to step over that ladder and get to where I want to be.
Shohjahon, what are the boxing public, people here in the States and around the world, going to be saying about Shohjahon Ergashev after November 25th, after you fight Subriel Matias?
Что люди будут, что болельщики бокса будут говорить после твоего боя с Матисом насчет тебя, твоих навыков?
Я еще все свой бокс не показал. До 23 боев я боксировал, который Сони Фредериксон боксировал. Он вообще не хотел со мной боксировать. 10 раунд избежал у меня. Еще был один хороший Сони Фредериксон, я у него попал, он третьим раундом, все. Ну, знаешь, я еще свой бокс не показал. Я могу громко говорить, пусть люди пока ждет, но 25-го я покажу свой бокс красивый. Потому что, знаешь, он Subriel тоже любит боксировать, драться любит он тоже. А я тоже это люблю, очень сильно. Ну вот я когда, вот здесь люди, они же знают, когда я боксировал, я всегда работал первым номером. Я всегда любил это драться. Ну, 25-го посмотрим, он тоже любит драться. Покажем ему, как надо боксировать. Да, он очень сильный. Ну, у нас есть свои планы, покажем ему. После этого боя люди, конечно, вспоминают. Showtime после этого дадут мне очень много боя. Хорошим боксером.
He said that he's fought some on Showtime, Showbox, and people like Sonny Fredrickson and other guys, but people have not seen his true potential. And Subriel Matias is an excellent fighter. He's truly very good, and it's going to be an exciting fight because he also likes to fight. He likes to box. He likes to engage, and that'll give me the ability to showcase my skills and to really raise to the next level.
It's going to be one heck of a fight. You'll see it on Showtime pay-per-view. I know members of the media have got questions for you guys. So let me turn it over to Andrew Roberts, and we'll get to the media questions.
All right. Thanks very much, Brian. As a reminder to the media, if you have a question, please hit the raise hand icon at the bottom of the screen. Our first question will come from James Bell with the Boxing Source. James, please unmute yourself, and you can ask your question.
Okay. Question for first for Shohjahon. What do you think is your biggest attribute? Is it your skill level or is it your power given your KO ratio?
Сила. Это твои навыки или твоя сила удара?
Не понял.
Какая у тебя сила? Какой твой самый лучший атрибут? Это то, что ты боксируешь или то, что ты очень сильно бьешь? И твои самые лучшие данные твои?
Я оба делаю.
He said both. I'm a big puncher and I'm a smart boxer.
Gotcha. And my question for Subriel, given your fights against multiple undefeated fighters and here with another one in Shohjahon Ergashev, do you think the level of fights that you've had up to this point, including your world title fight, gives you the confidence to, be, I guess, big favorite here, or like you're really confident that you could get the upper hand on Ergashev on November 25th?
Tu experiencia te avala, Subriel, con varias peleas contra peleadores invictos, ahora esto por el título mundial. ¿Sentís que sos considerado gran favorito en esta pelea gracias a esa experiencia que posees?
Pues mira, yo realmente no me abaso en lo que diga la gente, ¿no? No subestimo a Ergashev. Creo que, ¿verdad? A Narnia, te puedo poner el ejemplo. Ya vieron lo que hizo en el 2020. Entonces no me siento favorito, al contrario. yo voy con la confianza del trabajo que realizo en mi campamento.
And I can't say that I consider myself the favorite. What I do have is the confidence in myself after what I've done in training camp. But to say that I'm a big favorite will be assuming a lot of things, considering that boxing is unpredictable. Look at what Ananiam did in 2020. So I am not about to underestimate my opponent, and I am gonna go out there and bear the fruits of my preparation.
Permiso. Y Dios me está dando la oportunidad de volver a Las Vegas y arreglar ese error que pasó en el 2020.
Most importantly, God is giving me the opportunity to come back to Las Vegas and redeem myself, fix the mistake that I made in 2020.
All right, perfect. Thank you. And thank you for those questions, James. Our next question is going to come from Dario Nicholas Bessie with La Casaca Boxing. Dario, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Thank you again. I have a question for Subriel and two questions for Ergashev. I'm going to go first with Subriel. Do you think you are being considered as a boogeyman of the division? Not by your own people or by yourself, but by the fighters in the division itself that are kind of going away from the title that you are defending?
¿Sentís que sos el cuco de esta división, no para el público, sino que para tus propios colegas, para tus propios oponentes que quizás te sentís que te están eludiendo en esta defensa por el título?
Pues mira, realmente la mentalidad mía como peleador es unificar, ¿no? Y creo que ver que mis compañeros no me mencionen, pues creo que, ¿verdad? Eso dice algo, y es que estamos trabajando, haciendo las cosas bien. Y pues quizás esa sea un poco, ¿verdad? No es que piense que soy el boogeyman, ¿no? Pero al no mencionarme, pues entiendo que yo teniendo algo que ellos quieren y que no me mencionen, pues algo está pasando.
Gracias, Subriel.
It's not for me to say that I'm the boogeyman or not, but if you think about it, what do I want to do? I want to unify. But in order to unify, my opponents have to come and try to get what I have, which is the title. The fact that they don't want to, that they don't even mention my name in those unification talks, it means that something is going on. I don't know if it's about being the boogeyman or not, but there's certainly something that's going on in their minds that prevents them from wanting to fight me.
Thank you, Martin. And for Ergashev, you had an incredible run as an amateur, amassing more than 250 fights. You seem big enough for the current 140s. Both of you are big boys. Subriel Matias is big. You are a big guy, too. Do you think conditioning and raw strength are going to be the key factors of this fight?
Он говорит, что у тебя была хорошая любительская карьера, ты очень опытный, и ты большой и очень сильный. Ты думаешь, что и он тоже большой и сильный. Как ты думаешь, кто физически сильнее, и как будет важна физическая сила в этом бою?
Это все ринг показывает. У нас есть планы свои, мы поставим, он ничего не сможет своими силами делать. Да, он, этот боксер, он любит драться, он много кидает удар. Ну, у нас есть свои планы, я же говорил. Ну, я пока это не хочу сказать. После его будет сюрприз, я же сказал это все.
He has a lot of respect for Subriel Matias and for his accomplishments and obviously for his physical strength and his abilities. And his plan consists of both using his skills and his strength and his experience and his amateur career and his professional career, and certainly this training camp, as well as the years that he spent training in Detroit with his trainers, are going to pay off big time.
Nice. The last question. For Subriel, this is a game. Are you up for making this a bloody chess match out of this fight?
Матиас сказал, что это для него игра. А ты хочешь это сделать кровавой битвой?
Не понял.
Матиас сказал, что это будет для него просто игра. А ты хочешь...
Просто игра?
Он сказал, что это игра, что он будет просто играться с тобой.
А пусть так думает.
He said he can think that it's a game and doesn't matter. The result won't matter what he thinks or how he approaches this fight.
Ну,
Thank you very much.
Когда... он с кем боксировал, они даже со мной 2 раунда не стоял в спарринге тоже, остальными. Когда он с кем боксировал.
He said all of his previous opponents wouldn't last the distance with me, so the knockouts don't mean much.
All right. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for those questions, Dario. Our next question is going to come from Carlos Gonzalez with GFR Media in Puerto Rico. Carlos, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Yeah, here we go. ¿Te escuchas, Subriel?
Sí.
¿Cómo está? ¿Todo bien? Mira, qué bueno escucharte nuevamente. Mi pregunta es la siguiente. Para cuando subas al ring ¿verdad? Ahora en noviembre, han transcurrido 9 meses desde que peleaste la última vez. ¿Cuán desesperante, si algo fue para ti, ese tiempo de espera o si por el contrario encuentras que entonces físicamente estás más fresco?
Pues mira, realmente es más la preocupación de estar con mi niña que cualquier cosa, ¿verdad?, que tenga que ver con el deporte. Creo que yo me recuperé, gracias a Dios, en que semana y media, ¿sabes? Realmente no creo que haya sido, o sea, que me haya afectado. Pero Dios sabe por qué hace las cosas.
The question was about whether the 9-month layoff affected Subriel either mentally or physically at all. And Subriel said that the layoff was actually something that allowed me to focus on spending time with my daughters. That was really important to me. Physically, I had no problem. I recovered in 10 days. So I feel like I'm ready to go on this occasion. And really the 9-month layoff shouldn't affect me much at all.
Entonces mi segunda y última pregunta, Subriel, sería si ahora que eres campeón, si antes para lograr ese título estás motivado, si ahora para defenderlo es mayor.
Pues mira, realmente, ¿verdad? Estoy ansioso de hacer mi primera defensa y sobre todo, ¿verdad?, con un rival que en el 2020 se supone que hubiéramos hecho la eliminatoria. No sé qué pasó, pero ya gracias a Dios, ¿verdad?, lo vamos a tener de frente y vamos a tener que hacer el trabajo que debimos haber hecho en el 2020.
The question was whether defending the title motivates Subriel even more than actually having fought for the title originally. And the fact is that I am really pumped up to defend this title, not just because of what the title means, but because this fight was supposed to be an eliminator in 2020. I don't know what happened.
No, disculpe, en el 2021, perdona, en el 2021, sí,
bueno,
en mayo
gracias,
29.
Sorry, correction. 2021. Thank you for that. That the eliminator was supposed to be in 2021. I don't know what happened there, but like I'm excited to see what comes out of it now.
All right, gracias, Subriel. Thank you. Éxito a los dos.
Gracias, Efe.
All right, thank you, Carlos. And our last media questions are going to come from Christina Ramirez with Xtina Sports. Christina, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Okay, so I have one question for Ergashev. So this is your biggest fight opportunity to date against one of the sport's most reliable action fighters. I'm a little curious to know what type of emotions you're feeling leading up to fight night.
Шок, это для тебя вопрос. Это для тебя самый большой бой в твоей карьере. Какие у тебя эмоции? Какие ожидания, какие эмоции у тебя приближаются?
Ну, конечно, это большой бой, мой первый чемпионский бой. Это большая ответственность, потому что я первый узбек, который буду боксировать 63 500, это 140 паунд, первый узбек за чемпионский бой. Конечно, это большая ответственность, и именно страна, наше правительство очень сильно меня поддерживает из-за этого. Конечно, это очень большой ответственность у меня. Мы готовимся очень сильно. Уже я второй раз я скажу, это полгода я уже здесь. Очень много делаем спарринги, физически. Мы готовимся. Но, конечно, с Subriel'ем боксировать мне тоже как-то очень интересно. И именно с ним мне еще большой бой, потому что он любит драться, и я тоже это люблю в ринге. И мне еще интересно, знаешь, что не так этот большой ответственность, но и мне с ним надо драться интересно, потому что все мне 23 боев, которые все избежали у меня. Ну, никто со мной не дрались в ринге. Но вот он работает всегда первым номером. Посмотрим, мне самому интересно с ним боксировать, честно.
He said he definitely, it's his first title fight. He feels the pressure. The country is supporting him, and the government is supporting him. And he's the first fighter in this weight class from Uzbekistan to challenge for the world title. So he definitely feels the pressure. But he's also very excited, and and it's a very interesting fight for him, because most of the fighters that Ergashev has fought have always ran from him because they knew of his power, so they were always very defensive. Matias is a very good fighter, and he also comes forward, and he's also very aggressive. So he believes it's going to be a very fun and exciting fight for the fans, because Ergashev likes to mix it up. He likes to give and take action, and he knows that this fight is going to present that.
Awesome. It's like that one saying, iron sharpens iron.
Exactly, yes.
Y tenía una pregunta para Subriel. Sé que estaba mirando a Regis Prograis después de ganar su título mundial en febrero. Ya sabemos que él tiene una pelea contra Devin Haney el 9 de diciembre y todavía no sabemos dónde va a ir PBC después de Showtime. Pero si usted sale victorioso el 25, ¿estaría interesado en pelear contra el ganador de esa pelea?
Pues mira, realmente, ¿verdad? Primero, ¿verdad? Tenemos de frente a un gran rival, entonces vamos en busca, ¿verdad? De esa victoria. Ya luego, ¿verdad? Si es por mí, ¿verdad? Me gustaría unificar con cualquiera, pero tengo un equipo de trabajo que ellos, pues, al final son los que deciden, ¿verdad? Por el bien de uno. Pero si me preguntas a mí, no tengo problema.
Ok, perfecto, gracias.
Cristina, ¿cuáles eran los nombres de la pelea que mencionaste en febrero?
No, cuando ganó el título Subriel en febrero, estaba mirando a Regis.
Prograis, okay. So the question was whether Subriel is eyeing anyone in particular regarding potential unification, like he was eyeing Prograis when he won the title in February. He mentioned him, and Subriel said that the goal is to unify. Doesn't matter against who. First, defending the title now, and then let anyone else come my way. I'll be ready for anybody, because the goal remains the same.
All right, perfect. Thank you for those questions, Christina, and thank you to both Subriel and Shohjahon for their time. With that, I'll turn it back over to Brian to wrap it up.
Okay, thank you very much. By the way, Martin, you can let Subriel know that we did have Regis Prograis on Last Stand, and he said he beats Haney. The next guy he wants, Subriel Matias, in a unification fight.
Hablando de Prograis, acá Brian Caster en su podcast The Last Stand lo tuvo de invitado. ¿Y sabes lo que dijo? De que una vez que le gane a Haney, te tiene a vos entre ceja y ceja.
Dios quiera.
I love it. Okay.
I like that.
Guys, we'll wrap it up with this. Give us a final word here. We'll start with Shohjahon. Give us the main reason to watch when you face Subriel Matias for the title on November 25th.
Шок, заканчивается конференция. Дай самый главный резон смотреть твой бой, самая главная причина смотреть твой бой с Матиасом.
Там будет очень сильный бой будет, потому что он тоже будет драться, я тоже. Никто назад не хочет включать, наверное. Я тоже буду только драться, только вперед. Я думаю, все, которые зрители, пусть видят, кто побольше держит в ринге.
He said it's going to be a very exciting fight. Matias is very aggressive, very confident, and he likes to mix it up, and I like to mix it up. So, it's going to be very exciting, and it'll be fireworks from beginning to end.
Campeon, give you the final word. Give everybody the main reason why they need to watch you fight on November 25th when you take on Shohjahon Ergashev.
Decirle a la gente, campeón, ¿por qué debería sintonizar la relación principal por la que debería sintonizar tu pelea el 25 de noviembre por Showtime PPV?
Realmente 23 y 20 knockout, 19-1 y 19 knockout. Creo que eso es dinamita dentro de un ring. Yo soy el orgullo de Maternillo, la mejor compañía de Puerto Rico es Fresh Production Boxing. Así que nada, de cita, Y el que no pueda, que compre el pay-per-view, que les prometo fuegos artificiales.
Because I'm gonna promise you fireworks. Just look at our records: 19-1, 19 knockouts for me, 20 knockouts for my opponent. What do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna be awesome. And I'm the pride of Puerto Rico. I gotta make my promotion proud. I gotta make my country proud. I gotta make everybody know that I'm here to stay. So bring it on. It's gonna be a great fight.
Folks, I'm telling you, Saturday, November 25th, Showtime pay-per-view from Las Vegas. It's the pay-per-view event. It's an 8:00 p.m. Eastern start time. That's 5:00 Pacific. These are the two fights that begin the night. World title fights will begin with the WBA champion, Hector Luis Garcia, his first fight since taking on Tank Davis, defending his title against Lamont Roach, the Reaper out of DC. That starts tonight, and then we get to this world title fight, and it will be all action. You've got another world champion, Subriel Matias, the IBF champion at 140 pounds, defending his title against Shohjahon Ergashev. Two guys who have knockout power that will deliver fireworks, and it all comes your way on Showtime pay-per-view. Make sure you get the pay-per-view. Tickets available at axs.com. We will see you on November 25th on Showtime pay-per-view. And if you're in Las Vegas, we will see you at the venue itself. Don't forget to come on out to the Michelob ULTRA Arena, Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, all presented by Premier Boxing Champions. I'm Brian Custer. Thanks for watching.
Record.